Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, and my friends, the Rooflemonger cannot be stopped. So today is my day, and old Hackerman was at it again, trying to make sure that there would be no my video for today, but there's gonna be a video today, hell or high water. So there's a small patch with a couple new features. We'll talk about it, but just real quick to explain the last 24 hours-ish of what happened. So the channel was hacked again, sort of, not as bad as last time, but the Crypto Bros hackers came back, put on a crypto live stream. I managed to kill that one fast, revoke their permissions again. Apparently they came in through a new kind of scam, where when they had the channel originally, they sent out channel manager emails while they had it, and then, you know, they lost the account. I got my account back. And then apparently there's a long time where you can just click accept after the fact and then just put yourself right back in charge again. Now, thankfully they didn't get my email attached to the account, so they couldn't kick me off. All they could do was just a little crypto scamming for a little bit. They're out again, we're good. But then YouTube nuked the account, even though I fixed the problem. Fun. So a lot of stress with that. We're back now, although still with some problems, as they erroneously flagged every single video I've made since a month and a half ago when I got the channel back, which is also a problem. So if you're looking for that sick virtual fighter guides, yo, they're not here right now. Hopefully it'll be resolved quickly. Hopefully I really hope within 24 hours. But they will come back. It sucks. It's bad. It's awful. I don't like this, but all I can do is follow the process. And we're getting there. At least I got the channel back. That's step one. Getting those videos back is step two. And now it's my day. It's my impressions. Hackerman could not stop this from happening. They stopped me on Virtual Fighter Day. They're not stopping me this time around. Not after all this buildup. So let's talk some Mai. So one, this came with a patch and there's some new features. Not the least of which is we have new ranks for Master Mode. And we also have new rewards for Master Mode in the form of new colors. So when you're looking for that MR grind, hey, there you go. Also, the new MR season will end on the 1st of May, which seems about right for Elena's release. So I guess we'll see. So that new MR season, 1st of May, Elena's out. Super Street Fighter 6, I don't know, we'll see. Other things added are the ability to watch replays right after your most recent match. Also, for training mode, nice little quality of life, there's now just more slots for everything. Like, that's just good. That's nice. I like it. Now, let's dig into Mai. So Mai is pretty damn cool. I'm having a lot of fun with her so far. Obviously, this is day one. There's a lot to be discovered, but just a few things out of the gate. Like, I anticipated she'd be a very good buttons character, and absolutely, like, 8-frame stand medium punch with quite some range to it. Very comparable to Chun-Li handshake, just 1 frame slower. This is also special cancelable, and yes, it will naturally combo into fireballs. And much the same here, crouch medium kick will also go into projectiles. And yes, before you even ask, she is indeed a crouch medium kick into drive rush character. And she gets respectable damage and also respectable pressure. One of the things out of the gate became very apparent is Ninja Bees. Ninja Bees is amazing for knockdown pressure, also amazing on knockdown as well. And just to cut this one off, because I've had a few people in the comments ask, why do I call this Ninja Bees? Because that's its name. Thank you very much. See, back in the day, they wrote down Ryuenbu as Ryuenbu, so sure, whatever, right? But Hisatsu Shinobi Bachi was Ninja Bees, Deadly Ninja Bees. That's what I say. Old man problems. Also, speaking of old man problems, I slipped on the ice the other day, and I'm basically done. Like, it's actually not even fun to sit and record this, so don't get old, folks. But just a bundle of really fun things. Going back to the buttons real quick too. Crouch medium kick, considering it's a 7-framer, I think the range is pretty respectable. Stand heavy punch is also quite good. It's got some real range to it. In fact, it's quite easy to hit later in the active frames, depending on how you space it. 9-frame startup as well, also special cancelable. That's really good. The command normal is really good too. Back heavy kick, 8 frames, so fast startup. Also going to be one of her go-to drive rush buttons for sure, because it's very fast startup, leaves you at a monster +7 on hit, and it's also +3 on block. And due to the canned nature of the motion here, in fact, it takes a little bit of time to recover, very easy to hit confirm, right? Like, where you block, okay, maybe guess throw, because it does leave you in throw range, which is pretty nice. But if you actually get the hit, okay, sick, whatever. We'll just go into a combo. And everything flows very easily into each other. Like, it's very easy just to do heavy Ryuenbu into Dragon Blast, or maybe Ninja Bees as well, because it has a lot of corner carry and the knockdowns are very good. Her general knockdown games actually, in a lot of ways, she's similar to Chun-Li, like, and just stuff like this. Like dash forward afterwards, good frame advantage, and then just enough time to walk forward and, you know, give him a chuck, or, you know, walk out and whiff punish. And by the way, her shimmy game's really good. So in shimmy, like, just do stand medium kick, and it leaves them at +9 on punish counter. And due to the nature of the animation, it has a, you know, wind down time. So, oh, cool, got it. Go into heavy because it's 9 frames. And from there, like, it's a pretty respectable shimmy, like, all things told, right? Like, just things kind of work out. Also, one note here, some moves she can only get off stand jab for light hit confirms. So, like, medium or Ryuenbu only works off standing jab, will not work off crouching jab. And it's good, because this is also another good pressure situation. As, if you do light Ninja Bees right after, it hits very meaty after the fact. Like, enough to be +3 and in throw range, so not bad. And I guess this is the part where I mentioned Yoshi very much has throw loops. It's kind of like Jury, just dash afterwards. And rights itself, and then you can walk out. Don't gotta worry, easy to walk out, right? So she has a stock throw loop, so her throw game's pretty strong. The fun thing though, if you have Ninja Beast hit way later in the active frames, it does create a juggle okay state. So if we do this setup we mentioned before here, oh, okay. You know, you gotta do setup, because if you just do it raw, like, this move has a million, like 17 active frames, right? So it is very much by design, they want you to try to hit it later on, if at all possible. And also, if you can hit in those later active frames, right, like, her super startup's lightning fast, 6 frames for what it is. And it is full invincible to everything but projectiles, as you would expect. It gives that flame buff, and when you have the flame buff up, it does more damage, also gains quite a bit more range, while keeping the same startup time as well. So there might be some stuff with that. And, well, naturally enough, just kind of buffs everything and just makes everything better. Very limited, and it does not stay in between rounds, in case you were unaware. So early testing is probably best use is in the corner, because in the corner, you can do some jacked up things. We'll get back to it in a minute. But now just more rambling about Mai, because she's pretty dang cool. So yes, let's get into it now, fans. Like, fans is the reason for being for the character. So you may have been told, and it'd be correct, that the regular fan toss is indeed a weak projectile. Meaning, you can just tap it. You can hit a button and you will just destroy it. So it must be worthless, right? No. No, 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 no. One, especially the heavy version, right? It's still fast. Like, consider just space control. Like, if you're hitting this, you know, at these kind of ranges here, like, if you try to hit button, you're just going to get counter hit. Like, you're not going to be able to react in time. Like, so it is still perfectly valid, you know, at a lot of ranges as just a base projectile. That's fine. And, you know, from a little further away, like, oh, sir, I do believe I'll just jab out every single one of these. Depending on what you're doing, it might not be the smartest idea, right? Because there's probably going to be a drive rush following behind it. Because she can do the light version, and the light version is nice and slow. And, of course, the charge versions, well, they're regular fireballs. So you can't do anything. And here's the thing. Charge version, slow fireball, is extra. Look at that. Just screaming to do drive rushes after the fact. And heavy version, fast enough, right? And here's the thing, too. So, depending on the button for the charge version, the bounces are different. So, light has the smallest bounce, heaviest has the heaviest bounce, and naturally, medium is in between. The heavy bounce, actually, specifically, it can miss if you're close enough. So that's something. Although, unlike King of Fighters, it cannot leave the corner. So that is something. Like, so if you overshoot or whatever in the corner, it's always guaranteed it won't just go off screen sometimes. Also, while we're on the not like King of Fighters train, you cannot make Musasabi no Mai plus on block, no matter what. Their numbers just don't allow for it. You can make it safe. Like, it's usually gonna be safe, unless you just space it really badly. It just can't be plus without the flame buff. The flame buff changes the numbers, and then it can be +1. But that's it. So that's a little disappointing. King of Fighters and Street Fighter are different games. I shouldn't expect the same things, but I like my Condor dive style moves. And I don't know, I was just kind of hoping against hope, I guess. Here's another thing I never saw discussed either about fan toss and especially the bounce. And it's one of the first things I checked is parrying and the bounce. So I was wondering, like, okay, you parry, it still bounces. I expected as much, but maybe like if you perfect parried, would it get rid of the bounce? And no, it does not get rid of the bounce. So if you're a parry lord, you know, you perfect parry every projectile coming your way, it's not saving you from the bounce. So just because you parry, it does not mean necessarily that you're out of harm's way, because the thing is still coming on top of your head. And let me tell you, buddy, if you're waiting to parry that incoming high-low mix-up, the big problem with that is, oh no, throw is very valid. You know, parry will defeat the overhead low mix, sure, absolutely, but while you're waiting and parrying, you're going to get chucked for a nice 20%. Also, speaking of that overhead, it is 20 frames. So I don't know if I thought they were going to do like a 22 frame or whatever. So it's fast enough to get people. It is not always going to be, oh, I'll just react every single time. Like, you think you're reacting to the 20 frame overhead every single time on pure reaction, not anticipation? You're a liar. So when the scenario does present itself, it is very easy to just go for, like, say, a drive rush overhead or just drive rush low, and you're going to get 2-hit combo. And from there, well, keep going, right? Also, just some quick Fireball War notes. So when you do EX fan toss, you can either do the version with the bounce or you can do two, right? So just like Charge Fan counts as a regular projectile, so will clash, unlike the regular one. EX regular toss is in a weird state where it will crush a regular projectile, but it will not trade with EX projectiles. It will lose to them. So if you want to trade with an EX projectile, you have to do the double fan toss. So just weird my specific rules. And more my weird specific stuff. So with that EX fan toss, the held version, you hold forward, she tosses more. And those are completely free, by the way. Doesn't cost you any extra drive gauge. So consider it a bonus. The thing is, it's difficult to combo into it. EX charge is a few frames faster than regular charge, but it's still 28 frames, right? Like, that's a lot of startup. You do have like a punish counter or a drive rush heavy punch. That is something, it's an option. But it just unlocks some neat little juggle potential combos. Because all the fans like will combo into each other, and there's the additional fans up above, right? So you can do something like this. And I don't know how effective that's going to be realistically, but it looks neat. You know, it's fun to... You know, if you're a KOF player, you know all about juggling people with Ryuenbu in the corner, right? So brings back the feelings of home, the old times. And the fan bounce stuff gets a lot sillier with the buff, because with charged fans and the bounces, right? Regular EX toss, the fans bounce by themselves. You don't need the additional follow-ups or whatever. And, well, to be frank, gives you enough time to get a raw jump in your combo. So that, along with the other buffs, flame buffs give you, things can get outright silly. Keep in mind, something like this is nowhere near optimal, I don't know, but it's just fun, all the things she can string together, given that the flame buff moves all sorts of new properties, right? Obviously not optimal, like, you can do a lot better with the amount of bars spent, sure, but it just looks cool, right? Obviously, the flame buff's going to be a big deal. Like, it's very limited because it'll go so fast, but it does make everything so much better. Like, just the basic fan toss, right? Like, obviously it does more damage to everything, but it also just crushes regular projectiles by itself. It doesn't need to be an EX version of the move. You're just automatically winning that Fireball War for just the cost of a toss. No bar needed. So, like, when this is up, Guile is going to be crying for sure. Now, is Mai good or bad? Well, too early, right? I feel like Mai is going to be a character for like a week from now. Everyone's going to say she's garbage. And then a month from now, she'll be like, oh, you know, she's pretty all right. Like, in my very early testing, Mai has just some of the easiest, best Oki in the game. Like, at bare minimum, it's like Chun-Li style. Like, any basic knockdown, just walk forward, throw, or walk forward button, and just go from there, or shimmy, or like whatever. And her shimmy game is very strong, because she can just toss out a button and then go into a fierce from it, which is very good. However, she decidedly and distinctly suffers from a lack of plus frames. Nothing is plus for this character. Unless it's off the back of like an Oki setup where then you can, you know, do things, make moves hit later on, whatever. Like, nothing is just advantage for her. And that in and of itself is not like bad. It's not like the situation we had with Menno at the start of the game, right? Because Menno just had mostly bad normals. Mai has like amazing normals. She's one of the better buttonsy characters, like kind of out of the gate already. Like, this is 6 frames and reaches from so far away. Like, for a lot of other characters, a poke that's 8 frames with this range wouldn't be special cancelable. For Mai, it is, right? So, like, Mai is doing very good on the buttons front, so she doesn't necessarily need plus frames, although it's something that certainly could be an issue, as her pressure won't be as easy bake as some other characters. But then again, she also has the dumb drive rush like DJ, right? So, there's your plus frames, I suppose. She gets back heavy kick, 8 frame start up here off the drive rush. That'll definitely challenge people's reaction time to sneak it out, right? Plus on block, big combo on hit, or you can just go for like crouch, you know, light kick. If that's still plus, it'll go into crouch medium punch at the very least, and crouch medium punch goes into a Ryuenbu, the heavy launch version, right? There's damage. Regular old jab off drive rush, stand jab is plus 9, which means it goes into stand heavy. So her drive rush options will be a bit more ignorant, right? She doesn't go that far with a drive rush compared to some other characters. Like in the grand scheme of things, like compared to like old Ryu will literally like travel the whole screen, right? But she travels a faster distance in that time. She definitely reads as like the heavy neutral style control character. She can contest very well with many buttons. Some buttons are very strong for what they are. Obviously her projectile game's a little non-standard, although it shouldn't be, you know, like, we already got enough regular Shoto fireballs in the game. We don't need any more of those. In a rare treat for Mai, she has good defensive options, right? She has like an actual uppercut style move. You're just looking for buttons anti-air. Back heavy kick is actually really good, just reactionary. Hit button anti-air if you're like somehow not on the ball for this, you know, regular style uppercut. Because she has a DP motion. She can do cross-cut DPs, right? Like, that's a defensive property. I wish you could have that in KOF. Also, if you're willing to burn bar, it's impossible to jump against Pillar. Like, nothing can possibly beat Pillar. It goes straight up. It actually covers both sides as well. So even if you cross up a little bit, doesn't matter. She's getting you. For being a King of Fighters and Fatal Fury character, Mai seems to play classic Street Fighter very well. So we'll see in the grand scheme of things. You know, maybe 2 months from now, I'm making the Buff Mai video, right? We'll see. I don't know. But for now, gameplay, like, screw tiers, screw back, like all that. I don't care. Gameplay-wise, feel-wise, as someone who really cares for this character, like I've been playing this character for over 20 years in a lot of different games. I love the translation of her into this game. Everything seems to go really good so far, and so far, thumbs up from me. I don't know tier stuff, we'll figure it out, but for now, just feel is good. And that's it for the video. If you got this far, hey, thank you very much. It's very appreciated if you can hit the like button as well. Especially with the recent hacking and getting the channel deleted and getting it back. I probably got to rebuild the algorithm again. We lost all the playlists again too. I rebuilt them all and then we lost them again. So that's going to be fun. But other than that, and it's been a stressful 24 hours for me. At least I got to play some Mai. At least we got the Mai video day 1. Hackerman couldn't stop that. And I just like her. I think she's pretty cool. So all that said, my friends, that is the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some Street Fighter.
Yeah.